Well, our next guest has gone from being a homeless teen to a self-made millionaire, only to give up all his wealth in search of something more.
Grant Hilton has packed a lot into his life and he hasn't even hit 40. Well, he joins us now from the Gold Coast. Grant, good morning to you and welcome to Sunrise.
Good morning, Mel. Good morning, Kashi.
Just want to get a little bit of a snapshot, I guess, of your early life. If you can take us back to when you were 17, you were living on the streets. What was it like and how did you end up there?
Well, I ended up there through my father, who was a very good business person, and I found myself there after he had the ability to drink himself to death through working too hard, as far as I could see, and he was my mentor, so I really lost my whole focus in life once he passed, so I found myself taking off at a 17-year-old and trying to find my life and rebuild it, and found myself on the beaches of Surfers Paradise at about 17 years old, and quite an exciting start to a new journey, I must say.
Look, you certainly sorted your life out quickly because 12 months later, you decided to get a job. At 18, you made it to manager of an advertising company with 50 people working for you. By 25, you're a millionaire. Most people would say with the cars, the money, the house, all your celebrity parties, that you'd made it. But did you?
Well, in a sense, yes, and in a sense, no. I definitely ended up getting what I worked so hard for. But in the end, the happiness result wasn't there. I found I could do things really quickly, mainly because I didn't have a real attachment to them. I didn't have that real belief that, oh, this is mine and I'm going to go get that. They just seemed to come to me when I followed my path for some particular reason. It unfolded for me very quickly.
Okay, so then you decided to sell all up and give everything up, give it all away, go in search of happiness. Did you find it?
Well, at 32, I broke down mentally and emotionally. I was working around the clock so hard, but I remember myself walking around the house screaming at the top of my voice, and my wife heard me. And I was saying, all I need is some silence. I can't take it anymore. I can't take any more phone calls. I don't want to do this anymore. So she Googled silent retreat for me. And she found me a silent retreat and sent me away. But what happened after that silent retreat, I found my peace for the first time, probably as happy as I were when I was about an 8-year-old child, I suppose.
Okay, so where did you find it? We're seeing photos of you now. You went to the Himalayas, went to India, studied from the Dalai Lama?
I did. There was 3 particular teachers I had in mind. I thought, if I'm going to find out what happened to me and how I became so miserable, and obviously the bigger, better wasn't making me happy in all the material possessions, I wanted to find out, well, basically what had happened to me. So I studied with the Dalai Lama. I studied with Sogyal Rinpoche, wrote the Tibetan Book of Living and Dying. I also spent 4 years with the Yogi Swami and spent time wandering through the Himalayas in India. And to be up there with nothing and finding your happiness is quite an interesting point of life. You're way above the clouds. The clouds are absolutely amazing up there, and you're miles above them. And you find people singing, walking through the mountains maybe every 2 hours, and they're really happy. And I find that interesting that we don't get that in our Western society.
So what would you pass on to people on what they could do to find the secret of happiness? I mean, obviously not everybody can spend 4 years in the Himalayas. What would you tell them?
I'd get them to actually stop and maybe smell a rose, wake up a little bit earlier and go and have a swim in the ocean and look at a sunset, or if they've got a park nearby, anything just to take that little bit of time out to refocus and not so much do that repetitive everyday thing where you wake up in the morning, brush your teeth, go to work, wake up in the morning, brush your teeth, go to work, and do it over and over again until it becomes something really repetitive in your life. Break out and do something a little bit different. Something that doesn't cost any money, and usually that's what brings the greatest happiness, I found. Yeah,
because that's the point. A lot of people would be watching today and say, oh, it's easy for him, he made his millions, he could afford to take off. But what you're saying is it's not about money, it's just about, you know, coming to grips with yourself and breaking that cycle, having the confidence to do it.
Very true, and happiness is something you find within, it's not an external reality. when you find it in here, your external reality becomes really beautiful all the time. I find myself sitting down at my retreat and just relaxing by the pool, watching the birds and the butterflies and the dragonflies, or a wallaby just pass me by. And people do say that to me. It's all right for you though, Grant, when I'm teaching CEOs. They say, look at where you're at. I says, but this is my creation. You can create this also if you want. You choose to create that, so you might want to look at that and maybe change that reality for yourself.
Yeah, thought they're really wise words. Mate, nice to catch up. And thanks for giving us a bit of a check, stopping us.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Yeah, thank you.
Grant has written a book about his remarkable journey. It is called Universal Shift. There's more info about it on our website.